Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I'm surprised no one's typed Jen Jameson in the chat yet. Thank you, 23 Skids. Starting the stream out right with a little resub action. A little 8-month resub, dropping some prime love on us. Thank you, Skids. How you doing? How's your weekend going? Hopefully, excellent. Just gonna keep it short today. Probably just a couple hours. Just letting you know. Just letting you all know. Guys, I don't know if you guys... I saw something fucking crazy yesterday. Or today. I did not know... Some of you that play the game might know this already, but... You can put trackers on people's gear in Gray Zone. Or like as in, let's say I put a tracker on my like rig and someone kills me and takes it, I can see where they're at and go hunt them down. That is fucking crazy and awesome. I don't know if any game has done that before. Maybe, but that is a really fucking cool idea, I think. So kind of intrigued by that a little bit. Miss, what you said was cool. Apparently in Gray Zone, you can put... I don't know exactly how it works, but apparently you can put like trackers on your gear. So if I go play the game and a guy kills me and takes my gear, I can, I guess, like respawn and go after him and hunt him down. Which to me is fucking crazy and awesome. And I don't know if any other game is doing something like that. That seems like it could be really fucking cool gameplay. What I watched was a guy, it was a short, and it was a guy that had looted somebody, and that gear had a tracker on it, and somehow he knew. I don't know how you find out. So he took his rig off and threw it in the corner of a building and went and hid in the other corner in this like weird angle, so that when the guy came in to try to get him, he killed him. But I was like, dude, what the fuck? I had no idea that was in that game. I've never heard of anyone doing anything like that before, and I think that is really cool. That could lead to some very interesting gameplay, I feel. So, I gotta check that out. I'm seeing a lot of people tweet more about Gray Zone, so I'm hoping that it... Like, I really want to play it. It needs to have viewers for me to like continue to play it. So I'm hoping that it kind of pops off a little bit this next time around when this update comes out. If you do end up playing that game, I joined the La Manche. No, sorry, how do you say that? Wait, you already... I have already joined a faction. Can you... Because I've played it before, but just for 2 hours or something. Can I rejoin a different faction or what? Only if you wipe? Okay. Well, I don't have anything on my character anyway, so I don't mind wiping. Yeah, wait, so you, since I talked about it, you got the game and tried it out, or what? Damn it, let me out. Booted up like 10 minutes ago? Okay, cool. Sweet, man. I may play some of it tomorrow, I think. Start out with some DayZ and then end with some Gray Zone. Sweet. Yeah, that tracker stuff seems very interesting. I wonder if I need to figure out like how that works. And apparently, so he said after he killed him that he wasn't tracking him anymore. So I don't know. I guess they get like one shot to come back and get you, and then after that they can't see you anymore or something. I hope that, I hope it kind of pops off a little bit, man. I really do, because... Now, I mean, we'll see. Maybe I don't end up liking the game. I don't want to play it, but... There's not very many other games out there that kind of exist in the realms of games that I usually stream, so... I hope it is successful so that maybe we can have another game to play. I think I'm gonna give Marathon a try. The colors, I still might give Marathon a try. The colors aren't my thing, but I'm enjoying the gunplay. Yeah, man. Have fun, dude. I think it's a good game. I just don't think I'm gonna get to stream it, and I have a bunch of games now that I've learned that lesson from. So I'm not against picking it back up again in the future if it kind of becomes the game or becomes something that I can stream. I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on it for sure. Joey was showing me today before the stream that he's got the Danker Trank game working for the song thing, where you guys could submit songs to listen to, and if it gets voted bad, that you get timed out, and I can choose the amount of time they get timed out. That's gonna be fun. Oh, I see a player, maybe more. Can't see his head. I can only see his arms. I'm gonna take a guess, I think. Dude, this poor fucking guy. That's fucking unlucky. He took his plate carrier off to repair it, and I shot him. Oh. So I'm assuming he's looted all this. Maybe I'll go back to the base. And repair this optic. How you doing, Southern Belle? Well, that's unlucky for that dude. I'm not sure if I hit him in the head or not. I guess not, because the helmet's pristine. So I hit him in like the chest or neck or something and it killed him. Because he didn't have his plate carrier on. Oh, shit. Oh, music back on. Man down. Mm-hmm. See a zombie up there. Maybe somebody sitting in their base. What up, Aislinn? Daisy, what a game. It's like looking at an ex-girlfriend again. Brings a tear to the eye. Yeah, an abusive bitch of an ex-girlfriend. What up, Dark Tire? I gotta figure out, like, what the hell is going on with Gray Zone? Like, what do you do? Like, what's the objectives? Only play PUBG now, but Miss DayZ, no one will play it with me anymore. Because they're smart. Sounds like you got some smart friends. Trying to figure that out right now. I remember there being like lots of different like points of interest that you like capture, I think. Like almost every little town is like something that you can capture. And I don't know if that means you can spawn there. I don't know how you get out with gear and like get it into a stash. And I thought you had like teams, that you played on a team or something. There's like 3 teams that playing at the same time. I appreciate it, Linux. Glad to see you swing by. We're trying to grow the stream again. I'm back to full-time streaming, trying to grow it back up, so. Appreciate you swinging by. There are little bases you can capture and respawn. 3 factions. Do the factions get different skins that they wear, or is there any reason to pick a specific faction? Yeah, I did play PUBG, Linux. Okay. Where? Maybe I'll just put it in here so we can play. Monge is the only one that offers something in that you start with more money after wipes. Wait, what? What the hell? Why would you get... Only one of them has advantages. Is there some kind of disadvantage to them as well, or... Give me a 5k bonus. I figured it was a balancing thing. Yeah, that's what I would think too. Oh my god, we just have an insane amount of this ammo. I also think Lamonge has the best base location compared to the other two. Well, shit. Cal, did you just make the right choice on accident? Do you think the new Arma game has any promise for a decent DayZ mod? Which Arma game are you talking about? Cal's just like, I just like money. Or Forger? I doubt it. Because when Arma 4 comes out, nobody will ever touch Reforger again, I would guess. I really like the Breaking Point mod for Arma 3. Yeah, I played a lot of Breaking Point. Played a lot of Arma 3 VR. A lot of wasteland. Yeah, I'm thinking BR was pretty good. I wish we could get similar BR again. Man, I heard that they cut the loading or the waiting times on Tarkov a bunch. To me, that's one of the best changes they could possibly make. That was something that probably one of my bigger complaints about Tarkov was having to wait so much, especially if you were getting fucking rolled in a bunch of raids. You just end up staring at the waiting screen more than anything. So that's nice. That's a really good change that kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah, does the map or like game just stays ongoing at all times, right, Basildon? Or am I wrong on that? That's pretty sick too. I like that. I don't know how you extract though. How do you extract? Seems like you just go back to your base. Oh, do you have like a locker or something at your base? You just go and drop shit in? You're perma on the map. Okay, so you don't actually like extract and leave the map. If you capture small bases, you dump loot in stash from there. Ah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna move this armor. Maybe I can carry it. You can go out into the map for hours and just kill players and PvE mobs. I like that. Are there parts of the map where you can just basically like PvE shit and not run into players if you want? I mean, obviously they can get there, but as in there's a way lower chance to run into people. What game or mod are you talking about? We're talking about Grayzone. Apparently they're putting out a new big update. next month. Wait, where the hell? Oh, I think it was over here in this. Maybe? Maybe not. Am I crazy? I've lost my mind. I don't know where I killed this guy at. Well, my brain is dead. I can't find any of it. The gun or the gear. If you know Hollywood Bob, I'd reach out to him. He's a huge GZ fan. Yeah, I do not know Hollywood Bob. But I know a Hollywood Calendar. And he said he's going to teach me everything he knows. And carry me to riches untold. I don't even know how much the game is now. If we play a good amount of it, maybe I can just upgrade to that supporter level, though. I've tried to play, but my computer's too old and slow for it. Otherwise, I'd be in it now. Yeah, I'll have to. I'm kind of hyping myself up to play it. Out of nowhere. I kind of don't know why I. But I guess my desire for an alternate game is just that high. And since Marathon doesn't seem to be the game that's going to be able to do it for us. There's a bear over there. No, where the hell are you even? Oh. Dude, die! Ugh. Simpler times, man, when this song was on the radio. Simpler fucking times. Yo, what up, Mark? How you doing? How's the internet holding up, Dark Tire? Oh, you're stuck in the fucking box, huh? Okay. Well, you have fun over there. Oh, wait. I see his body now. All right, well, maybe we run this back. Wonder if that guy quit or what? I don't think I've seen him around. Unless the guy I just killed was him. That could have been. I think we might have room on the mannequin for this. Some of this stuff, maybe. It was very kind of that guy to bring us the plate carrier as well. Maybe I'll see if there's any good Gray Zone videos on YouTube we should watch. I have no idea what's going on. All right, well, let's see. Let's see if we can find a good video. Gray. Ow, fucker. Gray Zone Warfare. I don't know what that is, but we'll watch that. Maybe. Tips and tricks for beginners. There we go.
Tips and tricks to make your life easier in Gray Zone Warfare Update 0.3. From easy ways to find the right attachments and ammo for your guns, all the way to how to stop respawns during PvP when there is a cop nearby. Without any further delay, let's get right into the video. Starting off with a massive tip for all my fellow standard accounts that are too much of pores to get that extra stash space by buying a higher edition. Make sure that you get level 20 as fast as possible, because when you do get level 20, you will get free extra stash space. You'll get extra 10 by 10 amount of slots, which will help you a lot with holding on to useful gear and any other spoils of war. Next, if you have a gun and you're not sure what attachments go for it or what you need to put on a specific suppressor on it, all you have to do is have the gun in your stash, then click on it while you're at the vendor.
Oh,
and
nice.
Everything that goes onto that gun
That's pretty
will
sweet,
become
actually.
highlighted, every single attachment, including the ammo. You can also click on individual attachments like suppressors or muzzle threads, and those will also then highlight everything that is compatible with that attachment. Very useful, makes gun building and finding the right parts very easy. Whenever you're questing and you're going to different locations all around Lamang Island, make sure you capture all the nearby outposts, so in case that you die and something happens to you during your mission, you can respawn nearby and get back to it fairly quickly without an unnecessary heli ride. That will also stop enemies from spawning near the location of where you'll be questing, making it a much safer endeavor. During PvP, to stop players from spawning at a nearby outpost so you don't get constantly swarmed by the same people over and over again and are unable to loot your goddamn bodies in peace, make sure to always push towards that outpost and contest it by shooting an AI. You don't even have to kill it, just shoot it. Then they become alarmed. This icon will appear on the map, and that will mean that the outpost is contested and the enemy will no longer be able to respawn there, making it now finally possible for you to clear out the area and take over the outpost without getting swarmed. This might be a minor one, but I've noticed myself and including others not being aware, but the way to fix the dizzy effect is by pumping blood into yourself. So when you're dizzy, make sure to take a blood bag. Hurt effects are just red outlines on your body parts. Those are not healed. Those will go away with time. All you have to do is wait, make sure all your wounds are treated and everything is in order, and the hurt effect will just go away. You might not know, but items go for better prices to different vendors. I originally thought that all the items went for the same amount of money to all of the vendors, but it turns out different vendors like different things. For example, Handshake likes all intel related things. Gunny really likes his alcohol. Anything you find, either it being snake wine or high quality whiskey, he's gonna take that off your hands for a good price. Labrat for some reason likes her phones. Weird. Artisan likes her credit cards, and then either Turncard or Bungie likes valuables like watches and necklaces more than the others. When you're taking a ride on the heli and you have all this loud background noise, make sure if you're wearing a headset, you press O on your keyboard to turn on noise cancelling, and you can also press L to make the helicopter depart faster without any of the wait time. Make sure you wear glasses or goggles or hats to prevent raindrops getting on your screen and smudging. If you want to have a clear view without that effect, if you just wear glasses or a hat, you will not have it. It will be clear and there will be no raindrops on your screen. Next tip is something all of you,
Okay.
I hope, already
Definitely
know
wanna
by
wear
now.
glasses.
You no longer need
Or
to
hat.
go to your main base to turn in quests. You can now accept and turn in quests on the fly wherever you are. You can also deliver items in outposts. You don't have to go back to the main base for that either. The only time you do have to go back to the main base is when you have to pick up an item. Otherwise, everything can be done on the fly and in the world without the heli ride back to main base. Now, I haven't gotten that far into the game yet, but I do know that if you get far enough within certain quest lines and you progress in your quests to a certain point, you will get a bigger ass. And I don't mean a BBL, I mean you're going to get a larger secure container with more slots that you can use for free without having to buy a higher edition of the game. So if you want more safe space in your ass to shove things up in there, make sure that you progress your quest
It's
lines.
so weird
and
how
then
that has
eventually
become
you will
so
get it as a
common
reward.
in the
Last
gaming
is not
community
really
for
any
extract
sort of major
shooters.
tip or trick, but I want to make sure that people are aware that loot has been upped, and looting AI and dead bodies you find around the map is very much worth it. You can find some nice valuables on them, so make sure you do run everybody's pockets, and I mean everybody's. Actually, as I am a marvelous combat medic, I do have a little extra tip for those that want to follow in my footsteps and save lives out there. Not just be a menace to everybody, but actually use these hands for some good and have an excuse to touch up some men. I mean, to save some man. So, if you are healing somebody and you've noticed often they die before you manage to complete your healing process and get them back up, tip number one is don't drag them. Right now, there isn't really enough time to drag somebody to safety and pick them up. If they're in a position where you can't really help them, let them die. If you can, then you have to go up to them and make sure you use a CT first to stop any of their bleeds. Then you bandage them, and then you need to pump some blood into them. That is the most important step. Blood is what will make them get up. So pump them up hard, you know, just beat it. That blood into them. I mean. All right, that'll be it for the video. I hope these have been at least remotely useful to you and that you have enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave me a comment letting me know that you did love
You
this
didn't shoot
video
them while
so,
they were on the
so much.
chopper. I
Please
wonder if
like the video, and if you are new
it's
here
possible
and
to kill
not
people on the
subscribed
chopper.
already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are getting closer and closer to that 1,000 sub goal. Please help my dreams come true. Okay, that'll be it, and I'll see you all in the next one.
君の虜になってしまえばきっとこの夏は
upcoming update called Dark Revelations, which focused more on lore and PvP
What up, Kwasi?
elements with Winds of War, which was a more PvP focused update. Why they made that decision, why it was a mistake, and talk about the results of that decision overall. If you like this kind of content, I cover most FPS indie titles I find interesting, so be sure to hit the like button and please consider subscribing. It helps me tremendously being the small channel that I am. Let's get straight into the video. As a lot of you might know, Dark Revelations is going to be Grayzone Warfare's next big update, set to dive deep into the world of the game, focusing
anymore.
mainly on lore, which suggests far more PvE style
was
progression
this?
being added.
2
This
weeks?
update was supposed to be implemented instead of their last big update, Winds of War, over 9 months ago, which was received with mixed emotions due to it feeling fairly broken at the time. Performance was still not in a solid state, and the PvP loop really didn't make any sense. Currently, anytime you engage an enemy player, a radius circle appears on the map for every single player in the lobby to see, enticing other players to join the fight, which many argue breaks immersion and truly tactical gameplay. When you or an enemy player got killed, they would spawn back inside the closest base owned by their faction and quickly be able to run back for a chance to get their gear. This would create a really weird scenario where a big fight would break out and you would have all these naked knife wielding players running around looking for their bodies to get their stuff back. The only really good thing I felt like was added to this update was the PvE squad missions you were able to complete with your friends and get some actually decent rewards with. So why did they switch Dark Revelations with Winds of War? Well, at the time, Greyzone Warfare was struggling to hold even 3,000 players a day after a peak of 70,000, which is incredibly high for a niche tactical shooter. The leaders over at Madfinger Games did what any reasonable indie developer would do and hit social media to ask the public what would bring you back to Greyzone Warfare. I honestly don't remember much about the wide response from players, but a streamer named Clean released a video talking about how he and other social media personalities had to give a stern talking to the developers about what they needed to do to build their player count again. After that, they announced Winds of War, the update that would bring more engaging PvP to the game. Madfinger's attempt to get players back into the game worked, getting them up to a regular 17,000 a day. That update was released around May of 2025, and in July, only 2 months later, that number was under 5,000. 2 months after that, we have settled around 3,000 players on a good day. I know it doesn't help the perception of the game to keep talking about how bad its player numbers are, but at this point, Greyzone isn't going to find success off of good vibes. Madfinger made a good effort, but ultimately made a decision based on what streamers told them to do, and the pressure to get people back again, and not their own intuition. Streamers push to make PvP a priority in any game because it causes player interaction. Player interaction causes clips and viral moments, and this is the only way streamers know how to promote. But streamers aren't game designers, despite how many times they get asked about
fucking
being
shitty
involved.
streamers.
They're streamers. Their
Idiots.
overall marketing strategy was always to get as many eyes on them as possible, and when applied to Greyzone, the success was so temporary that it only ended up eroding consumer interest to ever pick the game back up. But Jake, why does it matter? What makes you think their original plan to focus on PvE would have worked so much better?
I have to go
Because, my
pass
dear
away
viewer,
tonight,
who I
Kabasi.
hope subscribes if anything I've said so far resonates. Something called design intent. Oh, well, what is that? That is when a designer of anything, could be a car, a space rocket, a painting, or even a video game, knows the purpose of what they're making before they begin to design it. As far as I know, the perception of the player base is that Greyzone is a PvEVP game that is player versus environment first. If the design all of a sudden shifts over to focusing primarily on PvP, with no other main game patch for over 9 months before making the game interesting to play, the design falls apart. Making a game meant to invoke deep immersion and a brand new gameplay loop, then calling out to the world, come join because of a PvP update, will have those players quickly find out that both of these things aren't very good. I don't want people to think my argument is that Greyzone should not have PvP or focus on it at all. I prefer PvP games and think they contribute massively to how fun a game is overall.
Well, the scope's already
But
better
that
than
starts
DayZ.
with a fun game, foundation, and then multiplier. What Madfinger was trying to do was go straight for the multiplier without anything to multiply. Both Arc Raiders and Escape from Tarkov, the most successful extraction shooters today. One of them is a newer breakout hit, and the other is a genre-defining GOAT of all FPS games that still retains players after 10 years. Both have extremely immersive environments. Arc Raiders' design intent was to be a multiplayer PvE game. They worked hard on this, and the game was mostly complete with maps, enemies, lore, gameplay loop, characters, combat, and so much more, until some genius over at Embark said, there is room for PvP. Now we have an incredibly engaging world in which half the players don't even PvP because of how good the game is. And now, because of aggression-based matchmaking, are free to play as passive as a Hindi cow. Tarkov set out to make a quick multiplayer shooter to help them develop and finance a single-player game. And because they were so focused on story, game mechanics, and world building, accidentally created one of the best PvP shooters of all time, ironically. Ask any PvP player who has been playing Tarkov for a while. He will tell you how mad he is at the up and down quality of PvP because the netcode is so busy loading in immersive map assets, his bullets aren't hitting anything. Tarkov's PvE elements are so good, in fact, that when PvE mode was introduced, there are an estimated 50% or more that now exclusively play just that mode. A far more PvE focused update like Dark Revelations would certainly not have brought back as many players as Winds of War's big exciting PvP one did, but what it would have done is retain many who do jump back in.
Ultimate guide, beginner tips and tricks. 20 tips that will make you a veteran in Gray Zone. Oh, Stone Mountain
So you're new
has
to Gray
good
Zone,
videos.
maybe even feeling a bit overwhelmed, and you need to be ready. You've
How old
found
is
the right
this?
video. I'm going to go through a ton of tips to get you started. Maybe
1
you're
year.
thinking
Oh,
about
shit.
just getting the game after watching my last video talking about what this game is fully about. Breaking down
What up,
most of the
Jidu?
things about this game and my impressions after playing for a week of it. Don't worry, you're in the right place. Just make sure you're subscribed, and let's get into it. Number one, you can put task items into your secure container so that if you die, you will still keep it. Not sure if they're going to remove this, but of course, every time you die, you drop all of your gear except for what is in this container. If you got the higher end edition of the game, then you'll also instantly unlock the TAS. I didn't even put this on for my first 5 hours. This will give that save pouch even more room. Two, there are amazing mission guides already on YouTube. Some people prefer to figure everything out themselves, and I do think that is a good way to approach it, but also don't get stuck on something for 3 hours just because you can't find it. You'll find some awesome creators doing this as well. Three, you can scroll through your medical wheel if a medical item is in your belt.
The game looks good.
Or tack rig. Doesn't work if it's in your bag. Hold H and scroll wheel.
Like the
to
map and
select
everything? I
what you
like it.
need. Light bleeds will actually heal themselves over time, but medium bleeds need to be bandaged. If you have especially a lot of severe bleeding, you can use a tourniquet to quickly stop everything, although I really haven't used that much, as you'll still need to bandage after as well. If your bones are ever orange or red, you need to use a splint. And if your organs like brain, lungs, stomach are red, you need to use a survival kit or serve kit. Also, make sure your blood is high enough, but if you're hurting anyway, when in doubt, serve it out. Four, to discover LZs, you just need to walk over them. You can also ride with somebody out to a zone that you haven't discovered yet, which will instantly discover it, but the majority of the points in the game, you will just get naturally by completing missions and automatically unlocking them. So I wouldn't go out of your way to just take a long-ass ride with somebody for the sake of getting a path that you're gonna get anyways once you get to that mission. Five, level 3 armor is better than 3A, but level 3A plus is the best at the beginning here. When you mouse over the armor, you'll also see in the top left corner what it protects, being the front, back, and sides. Not all of them protect everything, and may be why when you start running away from AI and get one-tapped, you don't have back protection on. Leveling up Handshake will let you buy better armor, and some of the tasks that you do will have multiple people you can turn it into if you want to focus on getting armor first, for example. Make sure you turn in the quest with him. 6.
Tanky boys,
Log
huh?
off, it's good to put anything that you really want to keep in your stash. This would avoid the scenario of, say, logging into a server that is being raided and you're instantly killed off and lose your favorite voodoo optic. Everything in your stash is safe, but if it's on your body, it is at risk, even if the game crashes. That's happened to me when I was on a flight path out into the world, game crashed, and I lost everything on my character. Maybe save some of that better stuff until you know what you're doing a little better. But I would also say in this game, there's not too much gear fear because it is so easy to just buy everything that you need from the vendors. And cash is very abundant. As you do all the quests, you get a ton of it to buy with. 7. Buying from traders will level them up, but selling does not. You can also only sell specific items to specific vendors, but the more cash that you can get and then just funnel into somebody, especially if you're close to leveling them up, that'll unlock new things to buy with them. Could be worth it to spend some of that cash or just holding for nothing right now. 8. Factions don't matter right now, but you do need to be on the same one as your friends to play together. I'm sure you saw that when you were logging in. They did announce on Twitter, though, that they are adding a way to fully wipe your character and choose a new faction, but obviously you're going to lose absolutely everything that you have, which of course you will lose eventually when they wipe the game as well, but reiterating the importance of this point. 9. PvE and PvP modes can be switched between freely. When you have your character, you can take them into any server, East Coast, West Coast, as well as PvE and P. That means if you just want to level up and don't want to worry about teammates accidentally killing you or enemies coming after you, go into the joint ops mode. And what was even cooler I didn't realize is that this isn't just your own individual PvE world. You are still playing with other people, queues you in with other people in your faction. So you'll still run
that's
into them,
interesting.
use proximity chat, team up with them and work together. I was very impressed with this. You didn't even have to spend $250. I will say though, the PvP aspect can be very fun, and it adds another layer of pressure as you're going in and doing those missions that I find to be extremely exciting. Although I will also say that it doesn't really matter when you PvP. You can't really get anything great from the people that you kill. There's no extra XP or missions to do it. So really, you're just slowing yourself down from leveling up your traders with the risk of losing absolutely everything. So I wouldn't recommend PvPing. 10. Searching boxes takes time for that loot to appear. At the beginning, I'd go
We
into a
PvP.
box and just not see anything there, move on. You got to sit there, wait a couple seconds, and see what pops up. 11. It takes about 15 minutes for AI to respawn in an area, and it also depends on how many people are in that server. They also can spawn right on top of you and behind you, so if you're walking through a town that's recently been wiped, be on your toes because it might all spawn back on you. 12.
That would be
You can
annoying.
revive your downed friends, or if you see a faction member on the ground coughing and seemingly bleeding out, that's because they're in a coma. Head over with the serve kit, which if is in your safe pouch, needs to be moved into your tack rig, belt. Then you'll be able to operate on them after you examine. Once the serve kit has been used, they'll stand back up. They can then fix their own bleeding and supply blood, or you can even help them with it. Because the other big tip here is healing a buddy is faster than healing yourself. 13, choppers stay on the ground, but once the player who calls it in gets on, it'll leave after a few seconds. So if you're with a bunch of buddies, try to be the last person who gets on, if you were the one that called it in, as to not leave your teammates behind. This happened to us more than I'd like to admit. 14, are you looking for extra cash? Well, try and take off the optics on the gun that you find. You could put them on your bag's extra slot or inside of your bag if it's big enough in order to do this, because the value of those are relatively high. In this type of game, you're looking for the highest value per cell. Those optics are only one cell and are often worth $100 each, versus bringing the entire gun, which might be worth $300, but now you're taking up 8 to maybe even 10 cells, which would then be a $30 per cell value, while also being much heavier to carry, slowing down your stamina, making it longer to run. It's a very efficient way to get some extra cash if you're after it. Most of the stuff that you find on the ground, like ammo or food, it's really not worth much, and bringing it back in hordes to try and sell it. Just try and take whatever you're going to need for your run, maybe the next one, and if a couple buddies could use some food. 15. What is worth picking up are the keys, especially if you don't have it yet. Better yet, keep a key ring inside your secure stash, so any of the keys that you find, which will likely go into that secure pouch anyways, are now better maximized, and you can still keep other things there. And if you get some extra keys of the same one, bring it on back and drop it to somebody back at base who might need it. 16. Speaking of your secure case, keep an MFAC or even 2 in your safe pouch. They're only one cell, but they give you 2 cells worth of space. It can only be used on a medical item, but it's a really good place to keep a survival kit or even some extra blood. And then every time you die, you don't need to constantly keep on buying more medicine, because you're probably going to want that every time you go on a run. 17. Press V before you go into battle. That'll check your magazine. You need to see how much ammo you have in there. You do not want to go into a fight and hear that click of an empty magazine of an empty gun. After any fight you get into, just like you get in the habit of reloading in a Call of Duty immediately after a fight, get in the habit of finding a spot where you can then just repack your mags. It happens instantly, and it is so important to not die. 18. Along those same lines, ammo is fairly cheap, so keep a good amount of it, at least 2, if not 3 stacks, especially if you're going to be using your gun fully automatic, preferably in your tack vest or at the top of your bag, so you can quickly drag it into your magazines without having to go all the way to your safe pouch. It's fairly cheap, so it's not usually worth it to keep it there. With that, I'd also say bring at least 3 magazines so you can still get those quick reloads done without having to constantly pack your mags. But bringing tons of mags is just as much management and will save you some cash just having the raw ammunition. 19. At the very start of the game, Gunny will sell you an ACOG. You can put that on. You just need to figure out how the mounting system works. In order to put an optic on a gun, you need to have the proper mount or attachment for it. Fortunately, he also sells the attachment to mount it to your gun. You can also take the handle off of your M4 to bring that optic lower. There is a ton of gun customization, and depending on where you start, what is offered to you, spend a little time to go through the vendor and your weapon to figure it out so you can get those long-range optics. In this game, you should turn your field of view up so you have a wider peripheral view. Lets you spot an enemy if they're just off to the side of you, but it does make it so you effectively have less zoom.
What the hell?
on
This
your
guy tried to
holographic
knife
sight.
him?
A red dot, which makes it look super tiny and hard to see. So having a higher powered optic becomes very helpful, especially with how tiny and hard to see things are from far, where you're going to have the biggest advantages. In 20, you should put smaller bags inside of bigger bags. This is the only way that you can stack them, but it's very efficient if you do need to grab somebody else's bag, if you've got a big patrol one, or you can maximize your own storage space and your limited stash size by putting a gigantic bag inside of another one. Opens up a ton of cells. One other note here, if you do have a dead buddy, it could be good to take all the gear off of their body and drop it next to their body, not under it, just in case they do make it back safely. But if they die again, their body will completely despawn. So will yours. And all of the loot that is on there will disappear unless it's on the ground. Same thing if you're crashing from a server, drop it all on the ground because it will stay there if it's just on the ground. It won't if you die or despawn again. And one last bonus tip for you all as well. Be patient. If you're getting bored with the game, go play something else. This is still such early access that they're going to need more time to finish it and polish it and make this a more robust, fun experience. You can come back at any point in the future if you've already bought the game, especially. The missions, for the most part, early on are the same as what you're going to experience later on in the game. It's just going to take you further. You're going to have longer helicopter rides to get there. Find a body, find some documents, plant some stuff, kill a boss. But there's also not much incentive to do any of the PvP, which I think is where a lot of the excitement comes from, and I think they're going to continue to develop this out. At least I really hope so. But once they tweak more of the features in the game, they add more to the economy, the rewards for the actions that you're taking, playing with friends, I think a lot of the game is going to get a lot more fun and enjoyable. I did the same thing with Tarkov. It took me a long time to get into the game, and I'm glad that I did because then I had so much more to do once I started playing the game. And likewise, after they wipe and then reset everything, all your stuff's going to reset anyways. You can come back months, years later, and then there's tons of new content to explore and play. They said they want to do a big update every 6 months to the game from what I saw. We'll see the cadence that they actually deliver on, and I hope it's solid. It's got so much promise for this game and such a great base for it, but don't get completely burnt out on it in its early state. If you guys have any other tips, you've been playing the game, you've seen any other great stuff, let us know in the comments. Give a like to any of those great, helpful comments, as well as even the video if this helped you out. I got more content playing through the game and enjoying it with the boys over my Stone Mountain Beyond channel as well. But that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching.
All right, guys. I am, as the title says, I was just doing a short stream today. So, just a quick one. I may play some Gray Zone tomorrow. I'm thinking, kind of feel it out a little bit. So, hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. Come hang out with us tomorrow. We're going again, an actual longer stream, normal stream, hopefully. So, I'm hopping out of here. You guys have a good night. I'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.